I like rock and roll. I like hip hop. I like R&B. I mean, I listen to country sometimes. It's not really um, necessarily my favorite genre, country music, but I do listen to it, and I sometimes it makes me feel good to listen to country music. But on the main line, I usually listen to like hip hop or rock and roll, Beatles, all this stuff like stuff from the '70s, Jefferson Airplane. I listen to a lot of the emo kind of stuff on the radio. Like, you know, for example, I just heard like a Kesha song today, and it wasn't necessarily the best song, but I mean, I listened to it. So I mean, so there's just I don't necessarily try to emphasize one genre or style too much, because I feel like that kind of puts you in a bad position. Um, so I like to keep it mixed up, and just just have a well-rounded style, something that um, whatever I think is the best decision for me. And that's kind of what being an adult is just making the best decision for yourself. And it may seem strange to some people, and sometimes people or your parents might not understand you, but when you get involved in something, sometimes it grabs a hold of you so tightly that it becomes your whole life. And really, it's up to you to do something with that talent if you can, because sometimes it's really difficult to make a living doing anything other than being a good worker, being a businessman, and just living as a 9 to 5er. And that can be really difficult. It's not easy. It's not an easy life. And being a skateboarder, of course, is no different. I feel lonely sometimes, and but I mean, it's sometimes I would feel lonely. I have a wife and daughter now, and so my life is kind of evolved, and I feel more complete as a human being having my wife and daughter, but that still can't take away my passion or enthusiasm for certain things. Like I can't live without skateboarding. I can try to live without skateboarding, but it's really difficult, for me. I love cars, so I love music. I love a lot of things, but you have to get your priorities straight, and you kind of have to pick pick what's the most important thing to you at that time, and what's gonna get you through to the next day. And I just I just pray sometimes that I'm going to find my gem, like where what's going to provide me with the help that I need to support my family. Not that I don't work or anything. It's just I haven't really I don't really enjoy. Um, no, it's just I just really can't work too much. Um, but this song sucks. God, who the hell is that? God damn it. Um, but that's basically it. I'm over it now, as they would say. Um, uh, yeah. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to dig into the differences between skateboarders and the things that bring them together. So no matter what your genre, who you are, what you like, you can still be friends. You can still kick it every day. Um, but um, but sometimes you're closer to certain people than you are with other people, and that's natural. There's nothing to be um, you know geeked out about. Um, you know, it's just some people are closer to other people. That's just life. Um, and um, like I said, no matter how much you wish your life was a certain way, it if it wasn't really meant to be, it's not meant to be. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to keep on living your life. Um, and whatever your decision is, um, if you wanna go out there and make money, and work 9 to 5 and bring home the bacon, then you do that. And if you can't do that, and you just make yourself useful. Like I'm you know I just do the best that I can. I take care of my daughter. I review videos and I work on cars. I mean, I have a degree in auto body collision repair, and I went to school, got a degree from Northern Virginia Community College. I did. I've been through years of college, not really knowing what I wanted to do, but um, it's kind of college is just kind of like about finding yourself, I guess, and that's life. Life is about getting to know yourself. And sometimes it takes people longer or shorter to figure out who they are and what they want to do. And I mean, all I really wanted to do when I was a kid was skateboard. I played other sports, but I wasn't really into them too much. Um, but once I started skateboarding, that's when I kind of fell in love. And my life changed after that. And then I moved to Georgia. My life changed after that. I moved back to Virginia. My life changed after that. Um, and but since I was a teenager, the one thing I did want to do was get married and have a kid. And I am married, and I do have a daughter. So that was one of my major goals since I was a teenager. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, and I didn't. I think I didn't have anything else better to do at the time besides skateboard, and I just wanted to have children. maybe I just want to have sex, but no, I really was into the finding the right girl kind of deal, but not really knowing where to look. Since I was a skateboarder, that's what I did was skateboarding, and that's where I hung out, and I'm I'm still awkward around girls like that I don't know very well. So I mean, it takes time to kind of get to know some people, but um, so I'm gonna just stop it here. Um, I don't think I really explained it very cohesively, but I just think that you know um, uh, um, you know skateboarding is an individual sport, and we kind of have been an underground kind of scene. We stay underground, and um, I mean, compared to sports like basketball, football, and now even MMA. MMA is more widely uh, advertised and um, enjoyed, I think, than skateboarding. Skateboarding is still a very enthusiast gravitated sport. So if you don't really know some people that skate, or you never been around it, it might seem really strange and weird. Whereas like you see basketball games every week, football games, Super Bowl, everybody knows about that. I mean, you could almost compare compare skateboarding to curling now. I don't know if any of you out there know what curling is, but um, that's my point. Like, probably a lot more people know what skateboarding is than curling, but um, I mean, there's a lot of other um, very quiet underground kind of. Uh, I wouldn't say they're sports, but like hobbies and stuff, like like knitting or skeet shooting or something. Like something like it's a hobby, but is not really taking its place as a very spectator um, enjoyed sport. But I mean, I used to like gymnastics as a kid. I used to um, I used to like to play kickball and dodgeball and stuff like that. Like most kids, Um, but yeah, so that's kind of what brings us all together. Um, like I think kids all start off as kids, and it's not until you get older that you kind of develop your individual style, and and for some people, hip hop or music, let me just say music in general, is their gig. Some people have sports as their gig. Some people have cars as their gig. Kind of let people in, that you maybe have shut out, and maybe you have to shut out people that maybe you've let in before. Um, but um, but to truly be one love, we gotta, we kind of have to break down that barrier of arrogance. So let's break down the walls. let's communicate, let's be free, um, and let's all, you know, get together and share harmony instead of um, putting off these things that really hold true to our native values. Um, and evolution is, I don't think, is necessarily a bad thing. So I just, I think that's where I'm gonna end it for right now. Um, but I hope I got my point across. I just was just trying to say that there's a lot of differences within skateboarding and with other people in general, between who you are and who another person is. If you can retain your individuality, or if you can retain the sense of who you are, then that's the best way to go. Just, I mean, because some people respect you more for being who you are than being somebody who you're not. Um, but you just gotta. I just want to say that you really need to um, just, I think, just be able to communicate with each other, and just get along with each other. That's the best advice I can give to anybody within life. Like, um, you know, I know it's hard for a lot of people to feel like they belong or they fit in, or because coming from skateboarding, that's basically how skaters were. Like, you don't belong anywhere else. You just belong by yourself. Uh, you know, there's just natural differences between people. So if you don't get along with somebody, you don't have to get along with them. But if you do get along with people, certain people you get along with, certain people you don't get along with. So if you do find somebody that you do get along with very well, then that's your true love right there. That's your best friend. That's the person that you admire the most. That's what getting along with somebody is. And if you don't get along with somebody, that's just how it is. That's nothing to be to worry about too much. And if you really are a good person underneath it all, that will shine through anything. So let's keep it real. Let's keep it trill. Let's keep it rock and roll. Disaster, backside tail slide, tray flip, 360 flip out, and um, let's stay at the peace level.